The Lost City of Atlantis.
Hello!
And welcome to another exciting episode on our English learning channel, Stairway to English. Today, we will talk about one of the most famous mysteries in the world, the Lost City of Atlantis. Is Atlantis a real place, or is it just a story? Let's explore the history, the legend, and the mystery behind this ancient city, and improve our English at the same time. What is Atlantis? Atlantis is the name of a powerful and advanced city that many people believe existed thousands of years ago. According to the story, Atlantis was a rich and beautiful island full of amazing buildings, art, and technology. But one day, it disappeared into the sea, never to be found again. The idea of Atlantis comes from the Greek philosopher Plato, who lived over 2,400 years ago. He wrote about Atlantis in two books, Timaeus and Critias. Who was Plato? Plato was a famous thinker and writer from ancient Greece. He wrote about many topics like politics, science, love, and the human mind. In his books, he described Atlantis as a large island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, today known as the Strait of Gibraltar, between Spain and Morocco. He said Atlantis was more powerful than any other nation at the time. It had a strong navy, many temples, gold, silver, and clean water everywhere. The people of Atlantis were very smart and skilled. But according to Plato, they became too proud and greedy. They started wars and lost their moral values. So, as a punishment from the gods, Atlantis was destroyed by earthquakes and floods in one single day and night. Did Atlantis really exist? This is the big question. Many people believe that Plato made up the story to teach a lesson about pride and power. Others think that Atlantis was a real place, but maybe the name was different. Some historians and scientists say Atlantis could be based on real ancient disasters, like the eruption of the volcano on the island of Santorini around 1600 BC. That eruption caused a massive tsunami and destroyed the Minoan civilization, which was very advanced. Could the story of Atlantis be a memory of that event? Where could Atlantis be? Over the years, many people have tried to find the lost city of Atlantis. Here are some popular theories. The Atlantic Ocean. Some say Atlantis is deep under the ocean, west of Europe. The Mediterranean Sea? Others believe it was near Crete or Santorini. Antarctica? A strange theory says Atlantis is under the ice of Antarctica. The Caribbean? Some people think it was in the Bahamas, under the Bermuda Triangle. So far, no one has found clear proof of Atlantis, but that doesn't stop people from searching. Why is Atlantis so popular? The story of Atlantis is more than 2,000 years old, but it is still famous today. Why? Because it's a story about a perfect world that was lost. It makes us think about questions like, what happens when a society becomes too greedy? Can we learn from the past? Are there other advanced civilizations we don't know about? Also, Atlantis has been used in books, movies, games, and TV shows. From Disney to documentaries, people love to imagine what Atlantis looked like. Thanks for watching and learning with us. If you liked this lesson, subscribe for more videos about history, mystery, and English learning. And remember, sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones we can't prove. See you in the next episode.
The Lost Continent of Mu. Hello again. Today we will explore another mystery of the ancient world, the lost continent of Mu. Was Mu a real place? Who lived there? And why did it disappear? Let's discover the story and improve your English along the way. What is Mu? Mu is the name of a lost continent that some people believe existed thousands of years ago. It was said to be a large landmass in the Pacific Ocean, home to a great and advanced civilization. Many people think Mu disappeared after a big disaster, such as an earthquake or flood, and sank into the ocean. Unlike Atlantis, the story of Mu did not come from ancient texts, but from modern writings. The idea became popular in the 19th and 20th centuries. Who talked about Mu first? The idea of Mu was first suggested by a man named Augustus Le Plongeon in the 1800s. He was an explorer and writer who studied the Maya ruins in Mexico. He believed the Maya people came from a lost land called Mu, which he thought was the original home of all civilizations. Later, another writer named James Churchward from England became the most famous promoter of the Mu theory. He said that Mu was the motherland of all human cultures, even older than Egypt, India, or China. He believed Mu existed in the Pacific Ocean and had a highly intelligent population. According to Churchward, Mu was about 5,000 miles wide. It had millions of people. It was very advanced in science, technology, and spirituality. It sank into the sea around 12,000 years ago. What happened to Mu? Churchward said Mu was destroyed by volcanic eruptions and earthquakes. The land broke apart, and the entire continent sank into the ocean. This disaster caused the survivors to move to other places, like Asia, America, and Africa, and start new civilizations there. He believed that the ancient knowledge of Mu still exists in the cultures and religions of the world today. Is there any proof? Here is the big problem. There is no scientific evidence that Mu ever existed. Modern scientists say, continents do not just sink like islands. There is no physical proof under the Pacific Ocean. Ancient texts like those from India or Egypt do not talk about Mu. Many experts believe that Churchward misunderstood or changed the meaning of old writings to support his ideas. So most historians and scientists think Mu is a myth or a fantasy. Why do people still talk about Mu? Even without proof, many people are still fascinated by the story of Mu. Why? Because Mu represents a dream, a time when people lived in peace, had great knowledge, and lived close to nature and spirit. It is the idea of a perfect world, now lost forever. Also, some people enjoy alternative history, which offers different ideas than normal history books. Stories like Mu make us ask questions, use our imagination, and think about what might have been. Mu is popular in books, movies, and games. It appears in science fiction, fantasy stories, and even anime. Thanks for learning with us again. In the next video, we'll talk about other lost civilizations that have inspired people for centuries. Keep exploring and keep learning English.
The mystery of other lost civilizations. Welcome back, English explorers. In our first episode, we learned about Atlantis. In the second, we discovered the story of Mu. Today, in our third episode,
we will travel across history to explore other lost civilizations. These were once powerful cultures that disappeared, but left behind clues and questions. Let's dive into their mysterious world. 1. Lemuria. Lemuria is another lost land, similar to Mu and Atlantis. It was said to be located in the Indian Ocean, between Africa and India. The idea of Lemuria began in the 19th century when scientists found similar animals and plants in India, Madagascar, and Australia. They thought there must have been a land bridge connecting these places. Some spiritual writers later claimed that Lemuria was home to very ancient and peaceful people. They believed the Lemurians were wise, gentle, and had strong spiritual powers. Like Mu, Lemuria was said to have sunk into the ocean after a great disaster. Did it exist? Today, scientists explain the animal similarities with continental drift, not a lost land. So there's no physical evidence Lemuria was real. 2. Hyperborea. The next legendary land is Hyperborea. This name comes from Greek mythology. It was said to be a beautiful and peaceful place far to the north, beyond the north wind. Some believed Hyperborea was located in the Arctic, where the sun always shines in summer. The people of Hyperborea were thought to live long lives, full of happiness, health, and music. They were friends with the Greek god Apollo, who visited them once every 19 years. In modern times, some writers connected Hyperborea with ideas of ancient wisdom, advanced technology, or even aliens. Did it exist? Most scholars say Hyperborea was just a myth, a dream of a perfect world. 3. The Indus Valley Civilization. Now let's talk about a real civilization that was lost for a long time. The Indus Valley Civilization. This culture existed over 4,000 years ago in what is today Pakistan and northwest India. It had big cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. The people built homes with running water, used symbols like writing, and had organized streets. But for a long time, no one knew about them. Their cities were buried under the earth until the 1920s, when British and Indian archaeologists discovered them. Today, we still don't understand their writing system, and many questions remain. Did it disappear? Yes. Around 1900 BCE, the Indus people seem to have left their cities. The reason is unknown. Maybe climate change, floods, or conflict. 4. The Olmecs. Another mysterious group is the Olmecs, who lived in Mesoamerica, modern-day Mexico, around 1200 BCE. They are famous for their giant stone heads, some weighing 20 tons. No one knows exactly how they moved and carved them without modern tools. The Olmecs created the first known pyramids in the Americas, a system of writing, possibly even the first calendar in the region. Much of their history is still unknown, and they are considered a mother culture of later civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs. Did they vanish? Yes, their cities were abandoned, but we don't know exactly why. Still, their influence remained. Why do we love lost civilizations? People around the world are fascinated by lost civilizations. Why? Because they remind us that the past is full of mystery. We want to understand where we come from and what we may have forgotten. Also, the idea of great knowledge and peaceful cultures disappearing makes us wonder, could it happen again? These stories also help us use our imagination, ask new questions, and stay curious. Thanks for joining today's adventure. In the next video, we'll ask a big question. Why do civilizations fall? Stay with us.
Why do civilizations disappear? Hello, curious learners. Welcome to episode 4 of our series on lost civilizations. Today, let's go deeper. Let's ask a very important question. Why do civilizations disappear? What causes great cultures to fall, vanish, or be forgotten? Let's look at the most common reasons and some interesting examples. 1. Natural disasters. One major reason for the fall of a civilization is natural disaster. This includes earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. For example, many people believe the story of Atlantis may be connected to a volcanic eruption on the island of Santorini in ancient Greece. That eruption destroyed a powerful city called Akrotiri and may have inspired the legend. In Central America, some Mayan cities may have been hurt by droughts, long dry periods, or hurricanes. Natural disasters can destroy homes and cities, kill many people, change rivers or farming lands, force people to leave. 2. Climate change. Sometimes the weather changes slowly over many years. This is called climate change. In the past, some areas became too hot, too dry, or too cold. When that happened, farming became difficult. People could not grow food, so they moved away or died. Example: the Indus Valley civilization may have disappeared because of changing river patterns. The rivers that gave them life may have dried up or moved. Example: some ancient African kingdoms lost power when the land became desert and people could no longer grow crops. Climate change is still a problem today, so we can learn from the past. 3. War and invasion. Another big reason civilizations fall is war. Sometimes outside groups attack. Sometimes people inside the civilization fight each other in a civil war. Example: the Roman Empire became too large and too hard to control. Many small wars, plus attacks from outside tribes, led to its fall. Example: in Central America, some Maya cities were destroyed in wars between rival kings. War brings death, destruction of buildings, loss of knowledge, and collapse of governments. 4. Economic collapse. A civilization needs resources like food, money, and trade to survive. If these systems break, the civilization becomes weak. Example: some Mesopotamian cities in today's Iraq lost trade routes and water access. This made it hard for them to stay strong. Sometimes people use resources too quickly, like cutting too many trees or using too much water. This creates problems later. Also, if leaders are greedy or unfair, people may stop working or rebel. 5. Bad leadership or corruption.
If a civilization has weak leaders, it can fall apart. Leaders must protect the people, manage money, and make wise decisions. If they do not, people lose trust. Example: the fall of some Chinese dynasties happened because of bad emperors, heavy taxes, and unfair laws. People rebelled, and new rulers took over. Corruption means when leaders lie, cheat, or steal. This makes people angry and can break societies. 6. Disease and plague. Deadly diseases can also destroy civilizations. Example: in Europe, the Black Death, a plague, killed millions of people in the 14th century. Cities became empty. Even powerful kingdoms became weak. In the Americas, after Europeans arrived, new diseases like smallpox killed many native people. Entire cultures disappeared quickly. What can we learn? Civilizations are complex systems. They rise because of good ideas, strong people, and helpful environments. But they fall for many reasons, and often it's a mix of problems. We can learn that nature is powerful, leadership matters, peace and planning are important, and nothing lasts forever. Understanding the past helps us make better decisions for the future. Each fall is a lesson from history. Thanks for watching and learning. In the final episode, we will ask, could there still be lost civilizations we haven't found yet? Stay curious and keep building your English.
Could lost civilizations still exist today? Hello again, explorers of the unknown. Welcome to the final episode of our series on lost civilizations. So far, we have talked about Atlantis and Mu, real and mythical ancient societies, why civilizations disappear. But today, let's ask an exciting question. Could some lost civilizations still exist today? Or could there be ancient cities or cultures that we haven't discovered yet? Let's find out. 1. The world is still full of secrets. Many people think the world is already fully explored, but that's not true. Much of our Earth is still unexplored, especially deep oceans, thick rainforests, deserts, and mountains. In places like the Amazon rainforest, scientists still find ancient ruins under the trees. In the ocean, strange stone shapes have been discovered that some people think are sunken cities. Even with satellites and modern technology, the Earth still hides many mysteries. 2. Lost cities found in modern times. Let's look at real examples of lost cities found in recent history. 1. Machu Picchu, Peru. In 1911, a man named Hiram Bingham found the ruins of a beautiful Inca city high in the mountains. The world didn't know it existed before that. 2. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. This massive temple city was hidden under jungle trees. People lived nearby, but they didn't know how big and important it once was. 3. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. This ancient site is over 11,000 years old, much older than the pyramids. It was discovered only in the 1990s. These discoveries show that amazing civilizations can be lost and then found again. 3. What about Atlantis and Mu? Some researchers believe that parts of stories like Atlantis or Mu are based on real places. Even if the names are myths, they may describe real disasters or lost cultures. For example, some people think Santorini could be the real Atlantis. Others think ancient stories of sunken lands are about rising sea levels after the Ice Age. New technology like underwater mapping
And LiDAR scanning, which uses lasers to see under trees, may help us find more evidence soon. 4. Hidden clues in myths and languages. Myths, legends, and even old songs may contain secrets about the past. Many ancient stories describe great floods, lost islands, advanced people who disappeared. Also, some languages and cultures today have words or traditions that come from older, unknown roots. For example, some Pacific Island languages include ancient names for lands that no longer exist. Maybe they are memories of real places long gone. 5. Do some theories go too far? Some people believe in very strange theories, like aliens helped build ancient cities, secret advanced civilizations lived under the earth, time travelers left clues. These ideas are fun for movies or books, but they have no scientific proof. It's important to ask questions, but also use logic and facts. Still, the human imagination is powerful, and sometimes it leads us to real discoveries. So, could lost civilizations still be found? Yes, it's very possible. Every year, archaeologists find new cities, old tools, mysterious structures, ancient roads and walls. Many are still hidden under forests, dirt, oceans. With better technology and curious minds, we may one day discover something as amazing as Atlantis. So yes, some lost civilizations may still exist, waiting to be found. Thank you for joining this series on lost civilizations. Remember, the world is full of stories, and you are part of its future. Stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring both history and your English.